So I decided to go on Amazon and get myself a cheap electronic keypad lock so that I can get in and out of my side door quickly and I don't always have to have my keys on me. So this is the lock. It's a Hugolog. I guess it's Hugolog is the name of the company, but it's a Keypad Digital Deadbolt, and this was actually the cheapest one that I could find on Amazon, and it was about $30 on there when I bought it. Let's open it up and see what's in it. All right, have a little template for drilling the holes in your door. And let's see. All right. So this is the keypad part. It's made of plastic, but it feels like a pretty sturdy plastic. And this is the inside of the door part that actually turns the bolt. All right, and let's see what hardware came with it. Feels like a pretty standard quality bolt. Faceplate there. And some screws and fittings for it. It's weird, the plastic on the outside part actually feels heavier duty than the plastic on the inside part, which I guess is a good thing, because you don't want somebody to just bust it off necessarily. And it does have, actually, it's got steel on the inside. This actually has some heft to it, the outside part here. All right, let's get it installed and see what happens. So to install this on the door, there's instructions say basically to take this template and bend it over the door at this line, and whether you have a 2 3/8 inch or 2 3/4 inch distance back that you need to drill, you follow the template depending on where that is. The way you determine what you need is basically to take a measuring tape and go to the center of your knob, and the center of my knob is 2 3/8 inch, so you want the deadbolt to match the bottom knob, so I'm going to do a 2 3/8 inch on center hole right here. The lucky thing is I happen to have a template that I'm going to be using, and you can actually get these pretty cheap. You can, whether you have the 2 3/8 inch or the 2 3/4 inch distance, you can turn it around depending on what distance you need, and this template just goes right over the door. And then you can use this to drill all your holes, and makes it a whole lot easier. So let's get that done. Go. All right, so if you're wondering how you would use this template, basically what you would do, you would fold this where you need to, and then either drill, you would basically put your hole saw point on whichever the size of door you have, and you would basically effectively drill into the template. You can also use a router to make this a lot quicker, but I'm just using this method so you can see basically that you don't have to have a bunch of fancy tools to do this. There we go. Handily, this thing's labeled. It says top and this side against the door. That makes it kind of easy. Okay, so now it's unlocked because the bolt's in, so we need to make sure that's in the unlocked position. We're going to plug this in here. There we go. And then put this in the bolt like that. Then we have these 3 small screws that we just attach it to this backing plate. There we go. Bolt comes in and out. So I need to know about where the bolt comes out. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I can see that the door catch here and the deadbolt are in line, so I'm just gonna, on this part, I'm going to make the second hole in line over there. All right, one thing you should make sure to do whenever you're installing these plates, and even this one, is to replace the kit screws with a proper wood screw. Basically, you want to make sure that your screws go all the way into the stud, if not even into the second stud over there. It'll make the door a lot harder to kick. I had to kick a door a couple weeks ago, and it was properly screwed in and the door was sturdy, so it took me several minutes to get through just because they did it right. Okay, so I'm going to replace these old kit screws with some wood screws and anchor it all into the stud here. All right, so according to the installation instructions, you're supposed to install 3 batteries. Then you hit the reset button, which is under here, and hold that as you install the fourth battery. And you hold that for another 3 seconds. Oh, look at that. There, now it learned which direction it needs to turn to go out. There, hopefully that beeping's a good sign. But you saw it locked on its own. You need to make sure that the bolt path over here is nice and obstruction free, because it needs to be able to move smoothly because it's mechanical there. All right, so the instructions say that in order to change your master pin code, you have to hit stars twice, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is the master code. Then you hit pound, wait for the long green flash there, and you hit 1, which will be your master code, and then you enter your new master pin. And pound. And then enter your master pin and pound again, and that should do it. So let's see if my master pin worked. Let's lock it. Okay, so it's locked. Enter my master pin. There you go. You can also enter secondary codes by hitting star twice, entering your master code, and then hitting pound, hitting the number of the code you want, and then entering your secondary code. And pound, and then your secondary code again, and pound. So then your secondary code should, if you have it locked, it should, and then hit pound, and it opens it up. So the way you lock it from the inside is you just turn it like that, and it's locked. Then you unlock it like that. The way you lock it from the outside, you hold any key on the keypad for 2 seconds, and it comes out like that. The way you unlock it, you enter your code, then you hit pound, and it closes right up. One thing I actually really like about this is the keypad lights up, so you can enter your code and you can see what you're typing. Hit the pound, and you're back in. So final impressions. I actually really like the lock. For the price, I can't complain too much. I went into Lowe's, Home Depot, and what have you, and the best I could really find for an electronic keypad deadbolt type lock was around $60, and this one was about $30 for me. So I can't complain too much. I also think the lock is comparable quality to any of the low to lower middle end locks you get at Walmart or Lowe's. There are some options that I didn't mention. One is that you can have it lock automatically after 30 seconds. I didn't enable that. One of the kind of disappointing things about this, initially it doesn't appear that there's any instructions. You take out the little template, but there's not really any instructions, but you gotta make sure you turn the box over and there's instructions on the bottom of the box. Now these are basically only installation instructions. They don't really tell you how to run the keypad that much. There is a little QR code elsewhere on the box here that you can use your phone and go to the website, and there's a more thorough instruction manual, and that's where I was able to find the operation instructions for the lock. It took me a while. I couldn't figure out how to lock it from the outside, and so I had to go to that instruction manual for that. So it gives you a lot more options on what you can do with the lock. I'll let you know in the future if I have any long-term issues with it. One thing I'll note that the box says that its working temperature is -4 Fahrenheit to 129 Fahrenheit, which is -20 Celsius to 55 Celsius. If you live in a place like where I came from, back in Wisconsin, then this lock may not work for you because it gets way colder than -4 Fahrenheit. Also, doesn't come with batteries. That's a cost-saving deal. I don't really mind that. Well, what do you think about the lock? Do you have a different experience with it? Go ahead, go down below and leave a comment. Also, if you have any ideas for future episodes, leave a comment there as well. Feel free to give me a thumbs up and help out the YouTube algorithm, and have a great day.